what you want to do is to playfully come up with a bunch of words on a list first. Make a list of just all different kinds of positive, crazy, fun words. I see that my livelihood is going to be determined by my ability to keep my head straight. My livelihood. I can see the confusion happening on the planet, and I can see the manipulation that is going on. And it's more important to me than ever that I keep my head weeded out of negativity. I've got to pull the weeds of the seeds that I planted from the past of negativity. And I got to get in there and keep pulling them to keep my mind fresh and clear so that I can detect manipulation and I can detect deception and trickery. Because if I fall for deception or I fall for trickery, then I will have to pay a price. There will be a consequence because I wasn't tuned in to the truth of things. And so for my livelihood, I know it's going to be very important for me to be able to be clear in my thinking, clear in my observation, and to be aware of the people around me and the situations around me and what's going on in the world so that I can make good decisions for what I need to do to be in the right place at the right time and avoid other places, because that would be the wrong place at the wrong time. So I know that my head is what's going to be the thing that keeps me straight. But Kirk, what about God? Well, if my head's clear, I can tune into God and listen to God. But if my head's a mess, how am I supposed to hear God clearly? So of course, God's in here too, in this whole equation. But how's God supposed to get his message to me if my head is plugged up with all kinds of junk? I probably won't hear it. I wouldn't hear it. It would just not be there because I know what that feels like to be plugged up in my mind and I can't hear guidance and direction. I know what that feels like. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. So of course God's in there, but I've got to be the one to prepare my mind so it's open and fresh and listening and clear. And it doesn't have a bunch of negative garbage in there messing with my head. Now I want to clarify before I teach you the sentence process. I'm going to clarify when somebody's hurt or they're sad, it doesn't mean that they're a negative person. They're experiencing these emotions that are heavy. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. I don't want anybody to get triggered or offended about the fact that I'm bringing up people who are in depression or hurt or sad or in grief. Those people aren't negative. Those experiences are real. Those are real life experiences, which I've been in grieving before. I've been in depression before. I've been in anxiousness and anxiety before. I know what those feel like. I do know that while a person experiences those experiences in life and they're trying to cope and recover at their pace that they're going to go at, that what can happen is negative self-talk can start to form while you're grieving. There's negative self-talk that can form while you're in depression, while you're in anxiety. Negative talk can form. And what I'm speaking to is that negative talk that can happen. Anytime we have something terrible happen to us or something super difficult, that's its own situation. But then negative thoughts can form that then escalate this to be a bad situation. Even worse. So I'm talking about that, the negative talk that comes along with scenarios and situations and life experiences. That's what we need to manage. That's what we need to pay attention to. That's what we get to stop. But grieving, that's a deep process. Depression, that's a deep process. Anxiety, that's a deep process. I'm not doubting on that at all, but it's the negative self-talk that gets to have some attention and looking at that going, wait a minute, can I change that thought? Can I stop that thought? And if so, then let's do it. Let's make that happen. Cool. Okay. Let me show you my sentence. This is my sentence. Give me a click of the raise of the hand button if you're still here with me. You with me on this? What's making sense here? Okay. I hope so. Okay, this is my sentence. Very simple. This is the sentence that I was given a long time ago. I mean, years and years and years ago, right? And it says, I outrageously and openly express myself as a trusting, deserving, fearless leader. The words that are underlined were the words that were on the list: outrageous, open, expression, trust, deserving, fearless, and leader. Those are words that were part of the big list that the facilitator, that coaching group I was part of, and the other students that I was there with, that they had put together. And there's a bunch of other words. But this is what they picked and then put together into a short sentence. So there's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 different descriptive words in this sentence. And it's pretty short, pretty jam-packed, right? And it doesn't say, well, let me just say it starts out with I. So I'm speaking of myself. I outrageously and openly express myself as a trusting, deserving, fearless leader. I mean, that's a pretty packed sentence, right? But what you want to do is to playfully come up with a bunch of words on a list first. Make a list of just all different kinds of positive, crazy, fun words. This is not a try to get it perfect kind of sentence. This is a sentence that you'll use to stand your ground in your mind. Like, take a stand. When all that negativity is taking you down, you take a stand to step up. And so pick some words, make a big long list, and I don't know, 30, 40, 50 in a list. Don't get too perfectionist about this. Don't make it too complicated. Then pick a couple of them that stand out to you. And I'm going to say, throw them together in a sentence. Don't get too perfectionist about this, because I know you are. You're a perfectionist. And put them together into a sentence. And the first time you go to say this sentence, it's going to feel weird. It will. It'll feel weird. And let me just write down some things you're going to run into when you go to say this. I'm serious. You're going to be like, what is happening to me? All right, hold tight. Let me just get this ready so I can just give you some insight. Because this was a little surprising to me, what happened in the process of, saying this for the first couple of times. So in saying it for the first couple of times, it felt weird. Physically, it felt like a lie. It just did. When I said it, I was like, okay, this doesn't feel true. It just felt like a lie. And that kind of felt weird, but that, after 16 years of teaching people how to do this, I find that they say the same thing. They're like, okay, this feels weird. And I said, yeah, what else? And they're like, it feels like I'm lying. And I said, yeah, it'll feel like you're lying. Because this is not a truth to you yet. And so if it's not a truth yet, and you're saying it like I outrageously and openly express myself as a trusting, deserving, fearless leader, it just feels like there's no way this could ever happen. And so that's why it feels like a lie. And then the first time I said this, I disagreed with every one of these words. And I told the class, I am not outrageous. I do not openly express myself. I'm not trusting of people. I don't deserve anything. I'm always scared spitless, so I am not fearless, and I am not a leader. I told my class that I was in back then. I was like, this is not me. You guys all picked the wrong words. And the teacher kept saying to me, it's not what you are. It's about what you're becoming. I'm like, well, I can't become that. And she said, no, you're starting the process. You're starting the process. And I told her, this isn't me. She goes, I know. It's not you. But it is. You're becoming. And I disagreed. Wholeheartedly disagreed. I will never become this statement. And now listen to me. Now I've done 6,000 presentations. I've been teaching seminars for 16 years. I'm coaching people all over the world. I'm a keynote presenter. I do webinars. I do coaching. I do high-level coaching. I teach kids. I teach teenagers. I teach moms, dads. But I told her, there's no way. And she goes, I know. I know. I said, it's a lie. And she goes, I know. I said, it feels weird. And she goes, I know. I go, I'm not going to do this. And she goes, okay. And she said, I just want you to have it in case you want to. And I'm so glad that the couple days after that class, I tried it. And then ever since then, I'm a maniac with it. I'm just a maniac. I'm relentless with it. This is one sentence. One sentence. It's not a paragraph. It's not a page. It's not a book. It's not complex. This isn't hard. It's not difficult. It's not perfectionism. It's a couple words. 7 put into one sentence. Said every day. So yeah, it feels weird. It feels like a lie. Everything in my head was against it. Whoops, let me fix that. Everything was against it. Everything. There was nothing in my head that supported this. It was so against it. Everything. It made me ornery. Ornery. I'll just put grumpy. Made me grumpy because there was resistance. There was resistance inside me. I don't know how to spell resistance. That's close enough. There was resistance. Oh, I think if I right click it, there we go. Thank Kevin for computers to help me spell. See, you don't even have to be a spelling champion to teach people all over the world. It made me grumpy. There was resistance inside of me. And I thought it was supposed to instantly fix me. um, it can feel like a struggle. It can feel like, why does this so hard? And I had times in the beginning where it was like, maybe I should stop doing this. So there was always every day, I'm not kidding, every day, temptation to quit showed up every day. That was huge, really weird. It was like, what? And I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. The devil doesn't want me to say this stuff. So he showed up every day to tell me, don't say this. You should not say this. I'm telling you, Kirk, you shouldn't say this. And I'm like, no, you're the devil and you can just go away. I'm saying this. There's one other one. No, I think that's it. No, that's good. So if you feel this or experience this, yeah, you're the same. We're the samies. We're both human. You and me, we're both human. And you probably are going to have some variations of this, but it's going to be something similar. But you don't stop. You keep saying this every day. So make a list of words, pull some words, put into a sentence, and then say this sentence. Now, I don't know where you're at with this, but you can think the sentence. You can think it. That does have some power, right? And then when you say it, it takes it into a new form. A new form. And let me explain the new form that happens when you say it. A thought is powerful. A thought that is pondered on is even more powerful. And then a thought that is said turns it into a higher level of vibration. And when you say the sentence, it leaves your body and it travels through the air and it affects everything around you. You can say the sentence out loud and it puts these words into your wall, into your mirror, into the couch, into the ceiling, into the carpet, into your clothes, into your toothbrush, into your hair dryer, into your pan, your kitchen, your table, your car. It'll put these words out there and it develops a supportive environment. You literally infuse these words into the things around you and you shape your environment up a notch. That's why you want to say it out loud. Even if you whisper it, it's still crossing your vocal cords. If you say it loud, it crosses your vocal cords. It turns it into a higher level of vibration because now it's projecting from your mouth out into the things around you. So good. So yes, think it, but also say them. And if you can't say them because of the environment you're in, then think it. And if you can whisper it, still whisper it. And if you need to drive somewhere, go for a walk so you can say it out loud, say it out loud. You can scream this statement. You can whisper it. You can talk normal. You can add a tune to it. You can sing it. Just say it.